Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I'm going to be creating a quick floral spread in my mini art journal. And I'm really excited because I was invited to take part in a collaboration. So this video is actually for the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium with Made by Martha. So thank you so much for inviting me, Martha. You might remember a couple of weeks ago I shared a flip through of my completed pages from this mini art journal. And I've kind of found a way of binding it now, so I've taken those pages out and have recently just started doing some more. And I shared in that video how I made the art journal and the kind of links to all the different bits and bobs that I used for this. So the first thing that I want to do is create a background for my floral designs. So I'm going to use a range of different acrylic paints. So I've just picked up a blue, purple, pink and yellow. And so I'm just going to start adding almost little dots of it on my page. So I'm going to squeeze, I think I'll start with a little bit of purple. I'm just going to start applying this in kind of little marks over my page. And I'm really enjoying working in this art journal because I find it so helpful just being able to take those loose sheets out and work on a flat surface. So my aim with this is really just to start creating a lovely colourful background. And so I'm now just going to carry on for a few minutes and build up the background using the other 3 acrylic paint colours. Once you've got the background all painted, you want to make sure that it's nice and dry, and we're now going to start adding the florals on top. And I'm just going to be adding the outlines to start with, and then we'll add all the details later on. I'm using a black acrylic paint pen. I'm using a Pilot pen tool today, but only because my Posca's just about run out. So any kind of paint pen or bold black marker would work well for this. And I'm going to start off with kind of a flower in the centre and start working outwards. So I'm just adding some wavy petals on this one. My paint pen was skipping just a tiny bit because of the texture of the acrylic paint underneath, but that doesn't matter at all. So I've got my first flower there, and I'm going to add just simple curves, kind of in a circle for now. And I think I might do another one coming out the other side. Then I think I'm going to add one here with some nice rounded petals. And you want there to be at least a little bit of overlap between each of the flowers. We're going to be adding white acrylic paint around the outside later on. Don't worry at all if you've got kind of smaller and then bigger petals. We're just adding something fun and quirky here. So again, I think I'm going to add something similar on this side. So I've got 5 flowers now. I think I might add perhaps 2 more, maybe some smaller ones. Let's see, perhaps one here. And then another one down in this bottom corner. And then I might add a few leaves, any spaces where it's going to be a little bit more tricky to come and add some white acrylic paint into, though I have got a little bit there. I might use a paint pen for that. I'm thinking it would be useful to have a leaf coming over the top here. And then maybe one more out this side. Okay, so we then want to make sure that that's dry, and we're going to start adding white acrylic paint around the outside. You could also do this in black. You probably actually would have an easier job in black because it's going to probably take me a couple of coats to get all of that kind of over the top of the other paint. So I might well use a white acrylic paint pen for any of the smaller gaps that I struggle with. So I'm just going to give it a really quick dry and then start adding that white all the way around the outside. So I've now covered up that background. It's not perfectly opaque, but it's pretty much there. I did 2 coats and then I just used my white paint pen for any of the smaller areas. So I'm now going to start adding some details to these flowers. So I think with this centre one, I'm going to have 3 strands in each and then just a circle on the longer one. And if you've got any flowers which you've gone over slightly with white paint, that's fine. Now's a good time to kind of go over them again with your paint pen or whatever marker you're using. So now I'm going to move on to these kind of 2 wavy flowers. So I'm just doing almost like a butterfly shape kind of in the middle, but I'm just going to start bringing lots of kind of wavy patterns out from the centre until we reach the outer edge of the flower. I absolutely love doing this sort of exercise in my art journal. I find it really relaxing to do, and you can play with different colours. And I've done something similar where I did all of the outlines in white paint and then had black acrylic paint around the outside, and that looked really nice too. Okay, so I'm happy with that flower. I'm going to do exactly the same here. And I've actually done this as covers for some of my journals before as well. I think it makes quite a nice vibrant colour for your art journal. If you do decide to have a go, I would love to see how you get on with it. I'm at Journal with Purpose on Instagram if you're over there, so I'd love you to tag me in the photo and see hopefully lots of joyous florals. And of course, if you're in the Mixed Media Emporium Facebook group, I'd love to see them over there. I will leave a link to that Facebook group down below. Okay, for these, I think I might add some dots in the centre and maybe little dots going around the outside of each of the petals. Just tidying up a couple of little petals as I go. I'll also leave a link to that flip through of the art journal that I completed with the pages in this journal that I've now taken out and bound. I'm now going to add some details to this leaf. And one over here too. And then I'm going to finish off by doing these flowers. And I think I might give these a black centre. I'm just tidying up the outside of those petals. And I think I'm just going to do 3 simple lines in each of those. And I'm moving my page around quite a bit just because I'm trying not to smudge kind of the wet paint pen while I'm there. Okay, so I'm nearly there with this spread. I think what I'm going to do with this page is I'd like to add a little bit of writing around the outside of my art journal spread, and then add a quote as well. But so I'm just going to quickly dry that off and then start adding some writing around the outside. So I've now added my writing to that spread. I'm just going to pop it back inside my journal there. And I want to finish off by adding a little quote. So I've got my Tim Holtz book here. Today is full of possibilities. I love that. So I'm just going to decide where I want to place it. Probably across the flowers themselves to make sure that it stands out rather than on the white background. I think I'm going to pop that right down there. What I really hope you've enjoyed seeing this, seeing how that floral page came together. So I'll leave links to everything down below, including the Facebook group that I mentioned, and thank you again to Martha. As always, I'd love to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. Well, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.